What's going on, guys? I'm Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Hasbro The Vintage Collection, Baylan Skoll from Ahsoka. I picked this figure up at one of my local Walmarts, and I picked it up because my good friend Scott Solo from the Sarlacc Digest podcast, make sure to subscribe to them, by the way, on YouTube. He recommended me this figure. He's a big TVC guy, and as I've been diving a lot more deeply into the TVC line and the TVC community, I have been picking up some figures when I see them at my local Walmarts, Baylan Skoll being one of them. As primarily a Black Series collector, the Baylan Skoll proved to be a pretty disappointing release with the height issues and the super long lightsaber blade. Of course, this coming out well after the show aired, this doesn't have all of those same issues. This figure was a mainline release, meaning it was released at most of your major retailers. This has the standard style of packaging for the Vintage Collection line. Up on the card back here, you have your 4+, your warning, your logo for the Star Wars and Ahsoka shows, the name of the character in that name pill. Over here, you have the nice character art of Baylan Skoll. Looks really, really good. I believe this particular shot is from Peridia. And then down here in the bubble, you have the figure with his couple accessories. And then on the back of the card back, we have some nice art here. So you have his VC number is 355, the character's name, you have a shot of the figure in front of the card, and you have a bio in about 1,000 different languages. This bio reads, allied to former magistrate of Kaladin, Morgan Elsbeth, after the fall of the Empire. Baylan Skoll is a shrewd lightsaber-wielding mercenary for hire, overseeing his apprentice, Shin Hati. You have your Vintage Collection logo here, and then we have all our legalese and warnings down at the bottom. Guys, please don't feed this action figure to your babies. And with that, that's going to wrap up the packaging, so why don't we get this guy opened and we'll check him out. Alrighty, here is Baylan Skoll out of the box. Before we take a look at the figure, let's first take a look at the two accessories he comes with. The first one, and I do wish Black Series would do this more, I actually just had some issues with some of my Black Series lightsabers breaking at the base of the blade there because they do removable blades with that line. This line, however, does the separate options of just the lightsaber hilt and the hilt with the blade attached. The hilt looks really good by itself. It's got some nice silver and black paint applications, and then you can see also down here, there's a nice little peg here so that you can peg this onto his belt. And then of course right here we have his lightsaber in full effect, and you'll see it's got a regular sized lightsaber blade, and this lightsaber blade looks a little more red than orange. He is supposed to have an orange lightsaber blade in the show, but as you can see it's got all the same paint apps that the other lightsaber hilt has. It's just that black on this one's a little bit more glossy because they did have to paint it over the red plastic of the blade. And now we have Baylan Skoll. This figure looks a lot like my friend James, the Max Rebo Experience. Shout out to you, James. The likeness on this guy is pretty good. I'm really impressed with how good the face paint applications have gotten for TVC. I mean, especially at such a small scale, it's something that you don't really expect to be as good as it is, but this is just so cleanly applied. I like the nice wash in his hair, gives it just that little bit of color, and the nice white of the beard. Even has some very, very subtle dot matrix paint apps around the mustache in the goatee area. The paint apps for the eyes are clean, the eyebrows look good. This is a good looking figure. I really like the look of Baylan's tunics, and I like the armor that is strewn throughout. This armor seems to be done on an O-ring system, which is kind of surprising for TVC. It's a very soft, malleable plastic, and I love this kind of blue, almost like weathering or patina, I guess I would call it, for the armor pieces as well as the outer tunic on the front here. It looks great. Again, I love all those angles, all that stitching, and that sculpted detail just looks pretty fantastic. I'm really impressed with how this looks. At the forearms here, you've also got that same kind of patina with that light blue color. I really like the way that contrasts. And then he has the armor on his hands as well. All this is done, and I would say this is like a gunmetal color. It looks pretty good. You can see some gray on the little comm pads on his forearms there. You'll see they did go as far as to paint his little belt buckle that has that little green detail on the front, so that looks good. The belt and the lower skirt piece seems to all be a loose overlay piece, similar to how Black Series does. It's got cuts so that you have the 2/4 of the front half, and then the back half is just all one piece. It's a very malleable, soft plastic, so once again, I don't know if you'll be able to get him to like sit down in a vehicle or something, but he can definitely get into some deep poses, and I think that we should be able to get some good ones with the Jedi figures. That's something you want to see. I might just be losing my mind, but it looks like there's some sort of light weathering on the pants here, which would be absolutely absurd, because this is just a plain sculpt, which is, for me, completely fine. I don't care at all that this is a plain sculpt because it's hidden underneath the nice sculpting of that outer skirt piece. The boots look good on this guy. Those also have some decent paint apps to them, and then you have the bottoms of the boots here, which are just done in some black here. Just some nice sculpted detail, not so much in the way of paint, but as far as that kind of stuff goes, especially at this small of a scale, that's not something I'm a stickler about. Overall, TVC really nailed the look of Baylan's skull, and the likeness here, again, the cleanliness of the paint apps, how tight and neat they are, really blows me away for the scale. As far as the articulation goes, he seems to have a barbell jointed neck, so there's kind of a barbell joint that goes up into the neck and up into the head there, and that makes it so that you get some nice circular motion. You can get just a little bit of down here, you can get a little bit of up as well, you get some good tilt, and you of course get your right and your left. At the shoulders here, like I said, you do have that O-ring system that moves independently of the arm. That is a hinge and swivel. You are going to get more than 90 degrees on the hinge, which is really good. If you're going to move the swivel, you can get it a full 360 degrees, but I'd recommend keeping that O-ring shoulder armor with the arm there because that can tend to warp and it might even break, so just be wary of that. At the elbows, we have some deep cut single joints, which are going to get you just about the 90 degree mark there, and then you do have a swivel at the top of the elbow, and then at the wrists here, we have hinge and swivel. So at the right wrist, we have a swivel with a vertical hinge, and then same goes for that left arm. Baylan's going to have a ball joint at the waist, which is going to give you some really nice range there. You can see I can get lots of range of motion out of that. Lifting up the skirt piece here, he does have ball joints at the hips. Those give you some really nice range as well. Is a cut for a thigh swivel at the top of the thigh there. That's going to be some great added range. Deep cut single jointed knees, which are going to get you to just shy of that 90 degree mark, and there is a swivel at the top of the knee as well. And then of course down at the ankles we have the forward facing pin for rocker. You would think that the boots would get in the way of that, but these are thin soft plastic here, so those actually move right out of the way, which is awesome. And then there's a hinge at the ankle there as well, which gets you a little bit of forward and plenty of back. So overall, again, this articulation rivals that of the Black Series, and the fact that this smaller scale is able to achieve such great articulation is really impressive. You'll see there's a hole right here on the right side below Baylan's belt, and that is for the lightsaber hilt there. So if you want to go with that look, you can get that. And here is Baylan's skull posed up in a little bit of an inquisitive stance, I'll call it, with the lightsaber hilt on the belt. You'll see that passes the shake test. If it's on the figure, you're not going to have to worry about that falling off and getting eaten by the carpet monster. And now we'll take a look at Baylan's lightsaber. So that fits very easily into the right hand there. A nice firm grip. It passes the shake test. And with that, we'll just get a basic pose here with lightsaber in hand, kind of a mid-stride pose. Let's get a little more dynamic with it. Baylan can very easily hold the lightsaber in two hands, which is great. You can see the lightsaber looks really nice, especially when it's not disproportionate to the actual figure and the lightsaber blade is the correct length. So I'm very happy about that. Here's Baylan in a nice low blocking stance here. That lightsaber fits so nicely in the left hand as well. I really like the way this figure feels in hand, and it poses really nicely. And here I've got Baylan in a nice one-legged pose here. I imagine he's charging towards Ahsoka as they're battling on the planet of Cetos. And here's Baylan next to that deluxe pack Ahsoka that came out. This was branded as a Mandalorian figure. I do have a review for that Ahsoka out on the channel. These guys scale nicely. Baylan is a bit taller than Ahsoka, as he should be, which is going to make these guys look great on the shelf next to each other. So that's going to do it for my review of the TVC Baylan Skull. This is a really great figure. I'm having way too much fun with this figure. You know what? I'm having as much fun as I should be having with this figure. This figure is a dream to pose. This is like a great entry-level gateway figure into the TVC line. He's just fun to pose. He comes with just the right amount of accessories. He has a great center of gravity, great paint apps, a great look and feel to him. Everything about this figure is just a 10 out of 10 for me. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. If you're an ARC Trooper in my Patreon, you would have seen this review early. If you'd like access to early content, monthly giveaways, and other awesome benefits, the link to my Patreon is in the description below. Become an ARC Trooper for just $4.99 a month. If you enjoy the reviews I do here on the channel, or you just want to support the YouTube channel more directly, you could also check out my YouTube channel membership Rancor Battalion for just 99 cents a month. It gives you access to all my reviews early as opposed to all my content. You get exclusive badges and priority replies in my comments section, and you get to vote on what I review next for the channel. If you'd like some Blitz Transmissions swag, you could head over to the Blitz Transmissions Armory over on Printify. Link to that is in the description below, as well as links to my Discord and all my social media. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.
Breaking off all units, fire at will. 1-2, pick your targets. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. Where's our reinforcements?